Everybody. As you know, we serve the salespeople globally. So Anthony Piccolo, he's got a charismatic enthusiasm that he takes with him everywhere he goes. And he's the CEO of Performance Scoring. So Anthony, introduce your company at that higher level and then let us know who your prospects are. And then he also is going to tell us how we as salespeople can zero in on this. So it's all yours.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen now, so I can kind of dive into this. Inside the chat, I have kind of chatted my contact information, as well as a link to hop into this meeting into our platform. Looks like Justin's joined, Trevor's joined already. They were in the preview, but you can also scan this little QR code here at the top. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. My name is Anthony Piccolo. Thank you for the warm introduction, Connie. I'm the CEO of Performance Scoring. I'm generally excited to be here today. Performance Scoring is a meeting management platform that coalesces project and performance management, really the workday experience and how we collaborate with others. We know that a lot of people conflate meeting management with tools like Zoom or Teams or GoToMeeting. While they offer some meeting management capabilities, it's just another silo, just another place. If you're like like me, you're in a Zoom, and then you're in a Teams, then you're in a Google Meet, and you're going all back and forth. So I'd love to talk. I'm going to share a lot about how meeting management tools like performance scoring, of course I'm biased, really help elevate and drive your sales activities and revenue. So specifically, streamlining sales performance through effective meeting management tools. For example, Harvard Business Review found that 70% of meetings waste valuable time due to lack of structure and focus. That should not be a surprise. We all sit in that should have been an email meeting. But we know that there's a lot of untapped potential here, and we're going to try to solve that together. So we're going to explore how optimizing your meetings internally and externally can boost alignment, drive productivity, and ultimately improve your results. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Guys, you're going to see a QR code at the top right part of your screen, or right there. And I also put a link in the chat so you can easily click on that. It can open up a window. It's going to ask for your first and last name just to join. We're not going to spam you or anything, but what it does is it's going to allow you to put a Q&A topic in here, title it. We're going to be able to come to it. In fact, I'll just put one, just call it Anthony's Note. And you can upvote and downvote these topics as your peers put them in. I'm going to ask some questions along the way. I'd love for you to put your thoughts there as we go, and it's going to help us kind of stay on track. Let me move this my
Hey,
window.
Anthony, I don't see the link in there in the chat, so can you put it in there again?
Absolutely. What did I do with the chat? Got a million windows, I can tell. Maybe too many windows, arguably. Chat.
Okay. Was that Justin? Justin put it in there.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Thanks, Justin, for doing that. Let me move everybody off to the side here. So yeah, we're gonna. So you'll be able to scan, upvote, and downvote those topics. It's really kind of makes it a little bit more fun. And also, we're going to get to this, but you're going to get, if you log into our platform, you're going to get an automated recap of every topic that we discussed, the presentation, the overview. Any tasks that we build, we're going to be talking about the reason and the value and importance all along the way. So I guess strap in and get ready. So as we dive in together, your input's going to help us shape the conversation. So we just want to make sure that we're talking about the things that matter most to you guys. So sales meetings, right? Especially those with prospects and clients. So the heart of driving alignment and trust and productivity. The Journal of Organizational Behavior found teams with clear meeting objectives and aligned agendas experience 28% higher productivity levels. So when structured properly, they lead to collaboration, clarity, and profitable outcomes. But when they're not, they drain time, energy, revenue, leaving everything on the table. Today, we're going to look at some of the common pitfalls of those meetings and more importantly, how to avoid them. And I'll share some actionable strategies as we kind of get through some of the challenges to help you structure your meetings for success using tools, meeting management tools like performance scoring. There are a few others, 90.io, there's Bloom Growth. We like to call them out. We're all trying to help each other have more or fruitful meetings. So first, alignment fuels success. Okay, we know that, but it's important to state here and think of sales meetings like a playbook for your team and your prospects. And just like in sports, if players don't have a shared game plan, even the best athletes can't win the game. So our sales meetings provide that game plan, ensuring every team member understands their role and how their efforts contribute to the broader objective. And without this alignment, efforts can overlap or conflict, leading to inefficiencies. And second, missed opportunities equal missed revenue. McKinsey and Company highlighted that inefficient sales practices, including poorly run meetings, can account for up to a 40% loss in productivity in sales organizations. So imagine a factory where a machine runs out of sync, production slows, materials are wasted, output declines. Poorly managed sales meetings work the exact same way, disrupting the production line of sales. So, like another, for instance, a sales manager might spend the first 20 minutes of a meeting rehashing information that could have been shared well in advance, right? That's valuable time lost. That time could have been spent solving problems, or really where we're trying to go is close those deals. So I'd love to hear from a couple of you, if you can. What's the biggest challenge you face in your sales meetings with prospects and clients? If you guys could put it down here in the Q&A, that'd be great. If you put it in the chat, we'll have somebody just migrate it over for you and hopefully put your name there so we can attribute it to you. Now let's go. We're going to go ahead and hop into.
Okay, so Anthony, where do I put it in the, because I went ahead and I'm in here.
Oh, good question. Good question. So if you scroll down or you click on view agenda, you should be able to scroll down and click on wrap up. I'm sorry, on Q&A. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And really, if you follow along, really in every view, you should have this little add Q&A or add task, add Q&A button, and you can do it. You can do it there. Thank you for asking that question, Connie.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So now let's go ahead and let's talk about a topic every sales team can relate to. The common problems of our sales meetings. Sales meetings should be a driving force of progress, aligning the team, strategizing effectively, closing deals faster, but often they feel like a roadblock. So I'm sure, really, have you guys ever walked out of a meeting and thought, what did we actually accomplish? Because you're not alone. Many sales meetings suffer from those inefficiencies, specifically the lack of focus or unclear follow-through, which requires more and more meetings, which actually kind of exacerbates the problem. And they don't just waste time, but they impact your team's ability to achieve its goals. So we're going to take a closer look at some specific challenges and how they impact performance, and then talk about how to avoid them. Here on the left actually comes from our little meeting cost calculator. It's going to be a link that you'll see here in a little while. You guys can look at it and see how your team, what's available in terms of opportunity using a tool like performance scoring. But we know inefficiency in sales meetings doesn't just waste time, right? It costs money. 2019 study from Harvard Business Review revealed 71% of senior managers consider their meetings to be unproductive and inefficient. So in this scenario, a salesperson who spends 5 hours a week in unproductive meetings, that's 260 hours a year, right? Equivalent to more than 6 full work weeks of lost selling time. So for a team of 10, that's a staggering 2,600 hours, right? Time that could have been spent prospecting or closing deals. And the financial impact isn't just staggering. Research from Atlassian found poorly managed sales meetings cost businesses over $37 billion a year in lost opportunity. That's just in the US. It's just in the US. So if your sales reps each have $1 million annual quota, and even a 10% drop in productivity due to poorly run meetings could cost $100,000 in lost potential revenue per person, right? Back to the whole time is money thing. So Journal of Business and Research, sales meetings account for just over 15% of an entire organization's time, yet nearly 50% of that time is considered wasted. So in the example I just gave, for a team of 10, wasting 5 hours weekly, that's 2,600 hours annually, equating to tens of thousands of lost opportunities. And we know those missed opportunities, inefficient meetings are delaying the decisions. It's missing those deals, those opportunities. So while competitors are out there closing deals, your team may still be debating strategies or in that constant loop, right? And from a financial perspective, American Productivity Audit highlights that ineffective meetings contribute to a 20% productivity decline across teams, compounding the revenue at risk. So while your team debates in aimless meetings, competitors are closing deals, it's not just inefficiency, it's actually a competitive disadvantage. And this is where we're going to land the plane later. I always tell people presentations are tell them what you're going to, tell them what you're about to tell them, and then tell them what you've told them. Well, one of the things that we're going to talk about is the competitive disadvantage that some of these inefficiencies cause, and then how to actually kind of flip the script on it and turn your meetings into your competitive advantage. So with that, let's talk about what often goes wrong in sales meetings and how it impacts your results. These pitfalls are more common than you might think, and research backs the significant impact. So a lack of structure and no clear agenda. So Clarizian found that 46% of employees prefer to skip meetings altogether. Well, we can all identify, most of us probably are in that 46%. But that most of it, this is the surprising part, it's due to the lack of structure and clarity. Okay, because without a roadmap, meetings veer off track, they waste precious time. Imagine trying to watch a movie with no script. It's chaotic, unproductive. A clear agenda sets the stage for focused and goal-driven discussions. And the second is the misalignment with goals. If meetings aren't directly tied to sales objectives, it's like closing a deal or moving a prospect through a pipeline. You're not just wasting time, you're losing momentum, right? Bain and Company said that teams that align meetings with strategic objectives are 38% more likely to achieve their targets. So every discussion should drive action toward advancing the sale. And then inconsistent follow-up. Think of a relay race where the baton actually never gets passed. Without clear accountability of next steps, right? Like even the best meeting ideas end up as missed opportunities. McKinsey revealed that teams with robust follow-up processes see 24% faster project completion rates. Think of that, how that can impact a sales team. They're getting the deals done faster, now you get the second deal, right? Translating to quicker deal cycles in sales. So I guess the question here is, sound familiar? I mean, at least it kind of does to me. And which of these pitfalls do you most often see in your sales meeting? Again, put that in the Q&A, put it in the chat. We want to be able to talk about that later. We can upvote and downvote those things, so feel free to kind of shift over and in the Q&A down here. And we can upvote. Looks like we've already got some upvoting and downvoting going on. You can see that I've actually kind of put my time, how much time I'd like to spend in each section. I had 3 minutes remaining in my first part, 2 minutes remaining in my second part. I'm 5 minutes ahead of schedule. So that's good. That's going to leave us time to discuss more and more. Clear agenda, setting the time, the expectation, right? So far we've discussed some of those common challenges that sales teams face in their meeting, whether it's the inefficiency, lack of structure, missed opportunities. We know the issues are real. They cost organizations time, money, and momentum. We both know that because we see the statistics, but we also really intrinsically know that because we've lived it. But the good news is that there are actionable solutions, right? By leveraging digital tools, we can address these challenges head on and transform our sales meetings into powerful drivers of alignment, productivity, and success. So we're going to dive into what it looks like, what these digital tools look like. I'm obviously biased, said that in the beginning, so shameless plug. But performance scoring can help you not only run meetings more efficiently, but also achieve measurable results for your sales team. And these tools don't just help you run better meetings. This is really key here. I'm sorry, these tools don't just help you run meetings. They help you run better meetings. That's like the whole purpose of this, right? So it's not just like to help you do it. It's just to help you do it way better, to achieve more results, optimal outcomes. Tools like performance scoring directly address the challenges that we just got done discussing by providing 3 key benefits. Structure. I mean, well, you can see it actually right here, what I'm sharing, right? Agendas and templates keep meetings on track, ensuring your team can focus on advancing deals without distraction. Academy of Management Journal. Teams that adhere to structured agendas experience 30% higher task completion rates. If your team completed 30% their tasks completion at a clip 30% higher, what would that do to your sales teams? What opportunity would that create without having to hire the next guy, the next guy, the next guy? And that helps with clarity, real-time data, actionable insights help keep discussions centered on what matters most. Look, we all know data is important. It's critical. One, having shared data, objective data, that's also key here. But MIT Sloan Management Review found that teams using data-driven meeting tools reduced decision-making time by 28%. This means, I want to talk real specifically, this means those prospects, your clients, they can close faster just by using the tool like this, because they can experience the progress you're making. It's not just your words or your great salesperson coloring a pretty mental picture. They can feel it, see it, touch it. And accountability, by assigning and tracking these tasks in the platform. I just got ahead of myself. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Accountability. So by assigning and tracking these tasks in the platform, you can ensure follow-up through on next steps. So so no great idea is left behind. So we know that these tools transform meetings from being time drains into power sessions that drive action, deliver results. With the right platform, every sales meeting becomes an opportunity to move closer to your goals. And I'd love it if you use performance scoring, but just use one of them. Any one of these tools, 90.io, Bloom Growth, performance scoring first, they will help. Digital tools like this are more than just meeting aids. They're literally strategic assets that ensure every meeting spent is a meeting that's productive and impactful. So let's talk about what happens before the meeting even begins. A lot of people want to talk about, well, how do you have the best meeting? Well, it's actually, the meeting part is 1/3 of the process. We're going to talk about the first third first, which seems to be in the right order. So the pre-meeting preparation is critical, and tools like performance scoring can make it easy to streamline this process for success. So here are 4 ways to ensure every meeting is set up for maximum impact. Reusable meeting templates. I know it sounds kind of like maybe duh, but it's an important one. Save time by building and reusing meeting agendas tailored to specific needs, like deal reviews or strategy sessions. Guys, this isn't new. This is why there's all these studies and statistics on it. McKinsey and Company found that reusing structured meeting templates can reduce preparation time by 20 to 30%. So I want you to, in your mind, as I'm like throwing statistics, and I also hate like a million statistics, but the reason why we're doing this is aggregate them in your head. Because even if, it's like 60% of the time, I'm right every time, even if, these are in your mind, you start putting all these things together and this significant opportunity in savings. So the second thing is an agenda review and distribution model. Share agendas in advance, especially if you're not using a meeting management tool, right? So everyone knows what to expect. Then come prepared. Maybe have a validated good idea, not just one that just came out real quick. So with performance scoring, you can even send a meeting link that contains all the details in one place. According to Harvard Business Review, sharing pre-meeting materials leads to a 35% more effective discussions during meeting. Well, duh, because I know what I'm going to talk about. I've thought about it, right? That pre-meeting preparation, and using these meeting previews to review materials, update key metrics, and assure everyone's aligned before the meeting ever starts. There's nothing worse than showing up to a meeting where you have your data, I have my data, she has her data, nobody shared any of the data, and we're going to sit here and argue about whose is correct before we even talk about what we're going to do. And then allow team members and prospect to submit those questions ahead of time. It ensures their concerns are addressed during the meeting. It gives everyone a chance to vote on which topics or questions that they think is most important. Imagine creating a deal review template with sections for key metrics, challenges, or next steps. And by having this prepared and shared ahead of time, your team can focus on the meeting and on advancing the deals and driving revenue. And one of the things that we can talk more about in Q&A is this actually helps you scale within your own organization. Having these meeting templates, walking the new salesperson or the junior person through like a proven process, a proven closing, a way to close business. There are a million sales consultants out there, and they're going to talk a lot about this. Like, how do you repeat your process? Well, this kind of helps do that. So preparation sets the tone for that successful meeting. Everything you need is organized, accessible, optimized for results even before you walk in the room. Now, let's go to the second part. Once the meeting starts, it's all about keeping discussions on track, driving actionable results, and those tools that we talked about, shameless plug us, are designed to do exactly that. And here's how we ensure every meeting stays productive. Real-time dashboards, right? Live data on deal status, team performance, key KPIs, keeps discussions focused on what matters most, priorities that actually impact revenue. And our tool, you can actually embed third-party tools like HubSpot, like Salesforce, right? Your CRM, your Google Suite, Google Sheets, your Office, Excel, PowerPoint. In fact, we're using Google Slides right now. Having these things available, right? These real-time information, the real-time data. The scorecard is, and you can see this in the presentation here. Context-aware topics, okay? There we go. Context-aware topics. The platform surfaces the most relevant topics, ensuring your time spent on addressing what's essential for advancing sales, okay? Action items and deadlines. Tasks can be assigned directly in the platform during the meeting. You can specify owners, deadlines in real time, eliminating any confusion about responsibilities and ensuring follow through. Harvard Business Review said teams that track and assign tasks during meetings reduce task completion times by 25%. But think about this in your sales meeting. Think about now again, turning that disadvantage into your competitive advantage, being able to show in real time, oh, you know what? Hey, client, that's a great idea. You know what? We're going to have Chris work on that in marketing, right? In fact, what deadline? Oh, next Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Right? They're feeling it. They're a part of the actual, they're a part of winning, right? And people want to feel that. This is, again, how do we make it a part of our competitive advantage? And then our tracked revisions. Every update logged, creating a transparent record of decisions and progress, which helps hold everyone accountable. So practical example, imagine identifying a key obstacle during a sales meeting. With performance scoring, you can immediately assign a task to address it, can set a deadline, track its completion, all in real time. And this level of clarity and alignment accelerates the deal progress, keeping momentum strong. So in-meeting productivity isn't just about having a conversation, it's about turning those conversations into measurable actions that move your sales process forward. All right, so now let's talk about what happens after the meeting, right? All right, the third part. This is where tools like performance scoring, and really, I think us, truly ensure nothing falls through the cracks. So first, let's talk about meeting ratings. After every meeting, attendees can rate the session on effectiveness. According to Gallup, teams that regularly solicit feedback improve engagement performance by up to 27%. So, and guys, there's a million studies out there on feedback. Generally, it's an important part of your meetings. Actually, it's a way to hear from your customers, your clients, and every pitch. We're going to do that down here. Look at all these people that have already joined or logged in. They can go in here and rate this session. This is going to help me make this session better in the future, right? It's one of the things that we should be doing. It's a way to honor the people that are going to sit and listen to you. Every meeting attendees rate those sessions, and depending on some of our clients, they have different rules. If you rate it less than an 8, then you have to speak up and say why. So a lot of really good theory behind this. And next is the action item. Next is the action item tracking. Did I go? Sorry, I lost my track. Next is the action item tracking with automated reminders. Performance scoring automatically sends those reminders as deadline approaches, so no task is forgotten. PwC talks about automated follow-up systems improve task completion by 40%. We all need something buzzing in our ear going, hey, this is due, you should get it done. Getting things done on time sure helps your clients sign again, because we know that teams that stay on schedule, well, they stay as a team longer. And finally, we have automated meeting summary. So once the meeting wraps up, performance scoring generates a summary that aligns everyone on key decisions and next steps. Everybody who's logged in today is going to get one of those. And Forbes Insight shows that automated meeting summaries save teams an average of 30 minutes per meeting, freeing up time for higher value work. We know that. I see all the little note takers in here. By the way, just to kind of talk about note takers, your note taker and his note taker don't take the same note. So this is another kind of issue, and this is what we're learning about AI, is the standardization of output and what is actually objective. But for example, imagine discussing a high value deal during a sales meeting. You identify a concern from a client. Using performance scoring, you can assign that task right to that team member. Log in real time, set up reminders to ensure it's addressed before the next follow-up. Your clients can actually log into this meeting before and see where that is, right? Now, that creates more accountability, but it also, again, turns that into that competitive advantage. So post-meeting follow-through is critical to sales success, and with tools like these, your meetings don't just end, they drive action, progress, and results. Let's go. So that's the recap. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had a meeting where you thought you were talking to the decision maker only to find out it was like the assistant or the next person, because that person set the meeting, but thought that maybe something came up, right? It's frustrating. We've all been there, and that's where we can also, or tools like performance scoring can really make it a lot easier, because that person accepted the meeting. They're in the meeting attendees. In fact, we've got more attendees here, I think, than we've got logged in. But if you were registered and you were created here, whether you made the meeting or not, you're going to get the summary, right? They'll automatically receive that meeting recap email with links to every detail discussed. No more sending the what happened emails or trying to piece together who said what. Here's how it works. So send the recap. Once the meeting wraps up, the recap is sent to all participants automatically. No additional effort is required. Now, there are some settings, like let's just say maybe you don't want to send it to the guest that joined in, because Bob in Frank's office walked by, scanned it, and they sat in the meeting. Maybe you don't want him to get it. But and then the entire meeting summary is not only email, but it's also logged in the platform, actually right here in the log. You can see that I haven't ended this meeting, so the log hasn't generated itself. But after this meeting, everything that I've done, where I've clicked, where I've spent my time, how much time I've spent is going to be in there. And then there's going to be direct links. So the email includes those links to every important detail, topic, task, decision. So there's no ambiguity on what needs to happen next. It also kind of formalizes what happened, right? This is a big thing. A lot of people, we have our shared narrative, and then we have our individual narratives. Well, when you're providing this information to everyone, that narrative becomes a shared objective narrative and becomes our shared truth, a place where we can work from with confidence. So by simplifying the follow-up process, performance scoring ensures that meetings don't just end, they deliver the results that move the deals forward. Oh yeah. This is that. I was wondering why my little thing wasn't. This is an example of a meeting recap here. There we go. Okay, so one of the unique benefits of performance scoring is the ability to measure the impact of your meetings over time. With data-driven insights, you can move beyond the guesswork and start refining your approach to maximize results. I'm going to talk, if I have time, about the importance of those ratings across an organization because it really helps you figure out where to spend your training resource. How you can start correlating excellence and outcome with excellence in meetings. And so here's how performance scoring can help. It tracks how efficient your meetings are, giving you a clear view of whether your time is being used effectively. You can measure how engaged your team is or your prospects are during meetings, helping you to identify areas of where alignment might be slipping. By tracking task completion rates, you can see if your follow-ups are actually driving the action or they're getting stuck. And so ultimately the platform helps pinpoint which meetings are delivering the most value so you can replicate what works. Imagine discovering that meetings structured around specific agendas lead to 20% higher task completion rates, which you will. With this insight, you can refine your meeting processes to focus on what truly drives results, maximizing your return on investment of every single meeting. Because we know measuring impact over time doesn't just improve meetings, it transforms them into a strategic advantage for your sales process. So everything's tracked. It aggregates. I can see in our application it's a hierarchy. People who report to me, I can see how their meetings are, all the way down into an individual meeting and then the aggregate of all of their meetings. How many topics they solve, how many tasks get updated or created during their meetings. So a real world example, let's take a look at how performance scoring drives real world results. This is an example of a sales team at a local cabinet company, actually here in DFW. They're a commercial cabinet installer in North and Central Texas, and they've used our platform to help transform their processes by using our platform. They used our platform to track follow-ups and action items directly in the tool, and the result was a 30% improvement in task completion rates, which directly reduce delays in deal progress and shorten their overall sales cycle. And by assigning these tasks in real time during meetings, tracking their progress and setting clear deadlines, the team eliminated confusion and ensured accountability in every follow-up. But again, back to the competitive advantage, none of their competitors have this. So they're working with home builders, and these home builders going, what? And now they're going to their competitors going, well, hey, at least with integrity, we get this, should have said their name, this, and this, and this. This is a tangible example of how leveraging meeting management tools like performance scoring doesn't just streamline your meetings, it directly impacts your sales outcomes by keeping deals on track and progressing faster. And these kind of measurable benefits that make meeting management tools a must-have for any sales team aiming to stay competitive and close deals efficiently. So let's bring this to life with another real-world example of a sales team from a staffing company in the Midwest that achieved significant results using performance scoring. Their teams, all remote. This is a large scaling, a mid-size, 250 employees, started by implementing performance scoring meeting templates. The impact was immediate. I think I kind of robbed my thunder earlier when I was talking about meeting templates, but they were able to reduce their average meeting duration by 25%. Their whole job is talking to either people that want a job or people that need somebody to take a job, right? So if you're reducing the amount of time spent doing it, you're creating more time to do it with different prospects and different providers. With that time saved, they reallocated their resources to focus on client interactions and prospecting rather than spending unnecessary hours in meetings. This shift had a measurable impact. It resulted in just over a 15% increase in closed deals within 6 months. Guys, they are a scaling company. They're hiring, instead of it taking 6 months to ramp up a junior salesperson, it's taking less than 3. And a lot of this is because, hey, look, we're going to take the process that our best salespeople, the meeting templates of our best salespeople, and we're going to clone those. That is going to be our proven process. That's the kind of thing that you can do with our tool. So by streamlining how their meetings were conducted, the team not only saved time, but increased the bottom line. Obviously, 15% increase in closed deals. So performance scoring doesn't just help you manage a meeting, it helps you unlock more time for what truly drives revenue, engaging clients, closing deals. So I'm going to play this little video. We're kind of getting wrapped up. I only got a couple more slides, so I feel like I'm right on time because I get 5 extra minutes here. I got 6 minutes. So I'm going to go and play this video, and I'm going to tell a little story. So yes, this is Michael Scott. Yeah, that Michael Scott from The Office. This is our little sandbox. So Operation Paper Paradise is a project requested by a major client of Dunder Mifflin back in November. So we're going to pick up where we left off and see how things are progressing. It looks like Jim was supposed to send over a formalized proposal after we finalized our Q4 plan, and let's check on that. We're taking a quick look at that Q4 plan while we wait for Jim to join the meeting. This is the latest revision of our plan, automatically generated using AI. We can see the scope of work. Oh, look, here's Jim. We can see that the scope of works, what the scope of work is. We can see the revision history. Jim, did you send that proposal over? It still shows as in progress in our meeting notes. Jim says, I sent it, but I'll resend it just in case. Well, thanks for that, Jim. And I see that Ryan's just finished gathering supplier information. So that's another task checked off. Great work. With that, we're ready to move forward with our pilot. All we need now is for you to send over the purchase order and we'll be good to go. I've got everything else I need on my end. Let's take a quick look at the overall project status, which we are coming here. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's marked as proceeding as planned. And performance scoring shows it on track. Yep, on track. That gives us all the confidence in the timeline. Jim, let's make sure the PO gets sent today so we can stay on schedule. Now, think about this as a client project, something that your clients can see and interact with. They can log into this meeting at any time and view the project status, right? Upcoming milestones and progress updates. It's all there for them. The visibility makes it much easier to discuss the next steps, whether it's asking for a payment or updating them on deliverables. When your client sees progress happening in real time, they feel confident, and it strengthens their trust in, well, what is now your process. Not only that, but your clients can also use this platform to add more tasks and projects for you. Work you can charge for, while keeping everything organized and prioritized. This history of collaboration is all tracked in one place, making it part of your value proposition. So when you walk into a room, providing your clients with an access to a tool like this, it isn't just helpful. It's not just helpful, it becomes a key part of your sales pitch. It's actually how you can show your value, a differentiation, especially in commodity-like services. All right. There we go. Recap for sales leader. I was trying to get there. So we're going to wrap things up on what we've covered and how it can make a difference from your sales team. First, streamlined sales meetings are efficient. When meetings are well structured, they help align your team and your prospects, making the best use of everyone's time. Second, efficient meetings save time and time's money. Every minute saved can be reinvested into closing deals, prospecting, or building stronger client relationship. And third, meeting management tools transform meetings into a process. Tools like performance scoring give you the structure and accountability needed to turn your meetings into action and results. And then finally, for real, your meeting process is your strategic advantage, right? That's what we're trying to tell you. Like, let's turn these from your disadvantage into your strategic advantage. By optimizing how your meetings are run, you can outpace your competitors. You can drive better outcomes, deliver more value to your clients. We know streamlining your sales meetings isn't just about saving time, although that's an ancillary benefit. It's really about driving performance. It's about fostering accountability. It's about achieving better results. So with tools like performance scoring, you can transform your meetings from a recurring challenge, yes, back to your strategic advantage. So let's make every meeting count. And as I wrap up, I just want to invite you to take the next step. We offer a 30-day free trial. You can experience it firsthand. We'd love to give you a demo. If you're ready to discuss it, whether you want to save time, boost accountability, improve team alignment, we're here to help. You can get started. You can reach out. You can email our support team. You can go to our performancescoring.com/walkthrough for a detailed demo. And we do have that meeting, the meeting cost calculator. So if you've got a team of 5, a team of 50, a team of 2, you can really kind of get an idea of what kind of opportunity is out there for you. But Connie, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to talk to you today. Now we're not done. We've got about 20 minutes, so we can answer some of those questions. I'd love to hear your questions and discuss how we can solve your challenges, our challenges. So with that, we can open it up for QA. All right. Oh, I got 4 in here. Oh, I got 3 in here. We're going to solve that one. Anthony's notes are solved. And if there are any others, I have not been able to obviously look through the chat along the way, but we'll get those. So let's see here. We've got one inconsistent. Stephanie, I've seen inconsistent follow-up. So I'm going to just turn this. By the way, we haven't talked about, look, there's AI and everything. So we've got transcription, auto summarization tools. We're gonna turn it on for each of these. A lot of people don't really think about it, but when you turn on AI and just stays on the entire time, I can listen to a lot of things. Some of those things you might not want it listening to. So our AI is designed to turn on and off based on the need of it. But let's get to Stephanie's question here on the inconsistency of follow-ups. Stephanie, you want to expound on that at all? Is it just general follow-up? Is it your client's follow-up? Is it your team's follow-up, or is it both?
I've seen it in every aspect, whether it's the client follow-up, whether it's a team follow-up. And I think what happens, there's so much information that when people are sitting in meeting, they may not be able to capture it all, and everyone's not the same note taker, right? And so therefore they don't have it, or they forgot it, or it got lost in a shuffle. So I think you had that in one of your notes when you were presenting, and I was just reiterating, yes, I've seen that inconsistent follow-up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's common. We've all experienced it, and sometimes it's been us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I think the big point you're making here is that a lot of people, most people, if you say, do you track your tasks, they would say yes. Everybody does it differently. Some people might write it down on a Post-it. Some people might use, Outlook reminders. Maybe you're getting real techie and you're using, a task management platform. We do a lot of tasks. Now we have the tasks that we set out for ourselves when we're by ourselves, but a lot of times they come inside of meetings, right? And we're back to, if everybody's putting their tasks in all these different places and nobody can see it, it's really hard to manage it, and it's actually even more hard to be accountable for it or to it. So for us, we didn't set out to be a project and task management tool, but the truth is it's a part of your work, your living experience. I mean, my kids are young. They have to make their bed. I mean, we're old school, so start your day with the task complete. But it's this idea, right? Like if I have a central place for my task, for the people that work for me's tasks, those tasks aggregate into projects or aggregate in and out of different meetings. Just the act of tracking it's like, what do they say when you want to start, losing weight? Well, why don't you just start getting on the scale? It's like, this just helps you kind of, do that. Track your food. The act of tracking actually changes the result. So having a common place to track those tasks and those follow-ups, I think are key. And to bring all this back to sales, letting your clients and your prospects see the accountability that you promote within your organization gives them the confidence to close the deal you're working on, or maybe close the second deal. And it definitely helps, differentiate you relative to your competition when it's shared. Because again, everybody says they're tracking follow-ups, right? But the issue is that it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent because we got a million different ones. We'll come in here. All right. Let's see. Do prospects have to have an account? Oh, that's a great question. You know what? Hold on. We got some upvoted things here. Let's go to inefficiencies. See, I'm breaking my rules here. Inefficiencies of repeating what didn't work well versus providing tools for success. So, also Stephanie, Stephanie, I love your questions. Uh, ex- it, you want to expound on this, or before I get going?
Yeah, no problem. Inefficiency repeating what did. So typically in sales meetings or in meetings, you're constantly talking about what didn't work well. And so you have an hour meeting. So 45 minutes of that was talking about what didn't work well versus providing tools of what will work well. How can we be successful? Because at that point in time, I think the morale of the team is now deflated with the 45 minutes. Not saying you shouldn't address what didn't work well, but let's spend more time on educating what can we do better in sales or, client relationship. And so
Absolutely.
I've seen that happen a lot in meetings. Even I've been guilty of that myself in my younger years. And I realized, you know what, I'm not doing my team or myself, or I'm doing them a disservice by not providing tools on how can they be more successful.
No,
Or even asking them, sometimes your team, you gotta allow other people to talk, because if you don't, then why I'm just coming to the meeting just to hear my boss talk. Allow the team to talk. They're out there, they're in the trenches, they know what's going on. I think sometimes as leaders, we don't take time to pause to allow our team to talk.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's not just talking that's really important. It's also being heard. Uh,
Yes.
and so, because there's a lot, what I've found is that, the loudest voice, it can fill the room pretty quickly, but doesn't mean that they're heard. Sometimes the softest voice can be heard the loudest. One of the things, just getting back to like our ethos, Eric, I see your hand, by the way, so you're next. I see this a part of our ethos in general. One of the challenges in the workplace is, um, a lot of our conversations, even in our meetings, are siloed. We don't. Everybody has their way of remembering things. The more time that goes between the incident or the conversation and the future, the less that is shared. And so, having a tool like this helps that objective shared narrative. And I think one of the things when people like get in the room and they want to debate, well, what didn't work well, that's because they've got feels on why it didn't. Using some of these tools that aggregate all of these important parts of driving sales makes that much more self-evident, and doesn't helps alleviate some of the unnecessary elongated conversation on what well. I mean, talking, we call it post, some people negatively will call it a post-mortem or debrief. It's important to debrief on why it didn't work, but it's really important to track that, do something with it, and go, why it didn't work? Because this process. Oh, who's in charge of that process? They are. Let's assign a task, and right here all together. And now we're actually letting people be heard. We're letting people be heard right now by assigning these questions to people, right? So this is your question. When we have a conversation and it's your idea, it's being formalized right there. One of the things that we talk to our prospects and clients about is, there's a real power in a tool like this for your everybody's in your company, because it allows your everybody's to give great ideas and have confidence that their name's going to be attached to it. It's not going to get elevated 2 meetings higher and your boss's boss is going to take all the credit for it. Now, your boss's boss might refine your idea and he should get credit for that, but you should get credit for that initial thought. And then that's what this tool, the big picture of this tool kind of is a part of, like, what it does. Great question though, Stephanie. So inefficiencies, yeah, I mean, really just having a place that we share, kind of helps change that narrative and that conversation. Let's go. Actually, I'll save that here in a little while. What do we? Oh, Connie, the manager telling stories, boring. Were my stories boring? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Justin responded. Ask Anthony to show you the detour and how to celebrate. Oh, Justin. See, this is our application at work, by the way. Connie put this in a little while ago, and then Justin was like, "What a great question. Let's have Anthony talk about it." Well, Anthony will. So one of the things, we use this celebrate, so when it's a cool thing, but we have a detour button, and this is really important. Anybody can hit this. We can take the detour, we can cancel the detour, but this is important for everybody. Because look, your manager doesn't, he probably really likes his stories. I know my people probably think I like to tell stories, but my voice just trails off. No, and it is. But you want people to say, look, move on. I don't want to tell you what you don't want to hear. That's not enjoyable. So hold on.
Or she, the boss, or she, as Connie said, or she.
Or she, and this is where using them and they is so much more helpful, because then you just get everybody. No,
Oh,
I think that detour button, one, tracking the amount of time that you're going to spend here. Oh, it says we've got 4 minutes left in Q&A because of how I did our agenda. Now I know that, well, we've got 9 minutes left in our meeting. And I know Connie wants to wrap up here, but this helps me go, hey, you know what, guys, I got 4 minutes left. I don't, what the moral of the story is, guys, get it done. When I got it done, we got paid. More, there's the.
So, Anthony, I've got a question. So anybody can hit that detour button?
We can.
Up at the top. Okay.
Oh, but hold on. But hey,
Oh.
when you hit it, so Justin actually just did it. Justin, I'm getting a little hat tip down here saying he's actually taking the detour. So it doesn't just show on everyone's screen. It showed all to you guys because I'm sharing my screen. This is a way for a facilitator. Too much time on detours. See, Justin just put that in right here. Like I'm spending too much time discussing this. But what this does is this really does empower people, and this helps drive like that common accountability. I mean, I think if you're a good manager, I always tell people, part of the reason why I hired you is I need you to tell me what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do.
This is the most significant for me to know that because of how people hijack meetings. And I see where this would really help the culture of a company. So I don't think you spent too much time on it. I think that was the most exciting part.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you. Here, well, shoot, we should celebrate. Let's celebrate that. No, I appreciate that. This is what's really interesting, and I know I'm spending too much time on this, Justin, or this part anyway. We found that certain industries and company types use that detour more than others. And it makes sense, right? Like depending on you're probably not gonna do it to your prospect who's telling a story about their children. So I mean, there are times when you're just gonna sit tight and listen. But it is a great feature, and it really does kind of help with that interactivity. I want to answer let's see. Do prospects have to have an account? Because I think this is a great question from Trevor. Can sales prospects participate in meetings and provide feedback without needing their own account or login? Obviously, in performance scoring, they can join as guests. Can similar tools do that? Who's laying this up? And Eric, I just saw your hand again, so I guess I'm a liar. Now I'm really coming back to you. So no, other tools can't do that. And yes, this is one of the most powerful features of this is every meeting you have, whether they're in our platform or not, they can join as a guest if you're sharing your screen and you show it. They can provide feedback. They can participate in meetings. Just like you guys have. You put in Q&A topics, right? You've upvoted and downvoted things. So no, they can't. And back to kind of keeping the history of all of this. Let's see here. Trevor put that in. I just updated it and saved it. There's a conversation history. A lot of our meetings actually have recurring topics, and so being able to track those things over time and know how long you spoke about things, understanding the history, right? It's all kind of baked in there. Now, Erica, it really is your turn, and I've got to say I'm so sorry for
Don't worry. I'm being the wayward child, bucking the system, not putting it in the Q&A. Sorry.
Good. Well,
I have a comment and a question. The comment is, this is brilliant. And what I love are two things in particular. I love the countdown with the clock because it helps keep people on task and on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps people focused so they don't, wander, squirrels and all that kind of thing. But the other thing that I like is that it's all concentrated in one place. This is, I think, the amongst other things, the beauty of this product is that it's all concentrated because to have to go look at your note taker notes and go through the summary, like hands, just kudos to you all for developing this. Now, my question is for solopreneurs, is there I don't do a lot of sales team meetings. It's just me. So with clients. So is there a different version that works for people like me?
Well, first off, the platform is uh, it is a one size fits all, fits nobody well. So I'm a bigger guy, so I was about to say it's one size fits all, but I know that doesn't work well for me. But what I would say is that the platform is actually built for an individual. It's built for a group of individuals ultimately, but it's right down to the person. We have a lot of small companies. We've got teams of 4, 5, 6 people that come on to the platform because the truth is if you're a party of one, you're a solopreneur. Erica, I bet you're in 20 meetings a month, and I bet that's an understatement. You might be in 20 meetings a week or even a day, and all with external people. And so this is even more powerful, more important for a solopreneur, I would argue, than it is. It's as important as it is for any large organization. That's a better way to say it.
Gotcha.
So,
Good. Okay.
but what I think the empowering part here is there's 2 things. One, guests get to come into these meetings for free, right? Now, when you have a client, right, and you want them to be able to log in, so a guest can, before the meeting is started, a guest can scan that link and join and see the pre-meeting stuff, and they can have the meeting, and once the meeting's concluded, they don't have access anymore. Now, if they're a user in the platform, then they get that recurring access. So a lot of our smaller organizations, there might only be a few, first-time users, and they do in the beginning. Everybody comes in as guests, but really quickly their clients end up paying, or having paid seats for their clients because this allows. Think about like we have a lot of like fractional CFO, CPA groups, right? This is a great way for them to they can't do their job unless you give them what they need to do their job. So they can assign you tasks. So that way, when their client gets on and go, why aren't my financials done for last month? That doesn't really happen in our platform because they've been getting reminders the entire time about, hey, please send us the executed XYZ form, right? We talked about the XYZ form. We had a 20-minute conversation. You actually committed to doing it. So this actually becomes like a real part of you getting your job done for that solopreneur, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Anthony, we've got 2 minutes.
That's all I need. What do you got?
I have a question though.
Oh, okay.
Or
Hold on.
I think a statement, Erica. So I have performance scoring and I haven't maximized it like I needed to. And I just said to Anthony the other day, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in so many meetings and I haven't used it consistently like I needed to. And so I'm having to write all these notes, having to try to remember things. And I said to him yesterday, I have to start using this because my papers and my little sheets of paper.
I can relate.
I'm like, oh my God, I cannot function like this anymore, right? And I just have to set time for the pre-meeting because I have to set up my pre, right? And then there's some things that's going to always be ongoing or consistent questions and answer, overall introduction. Some of those things are going to be basic, and all I have to do is copy and paste. And the pre won't be so much work if I just do my pre-work first, and then I can always copy a template over to another one. So again, he didn't have me to share this. I'm just sharing my experience that how I think it'll be beneficial. I have a couple of meetings today, and I'm like, Stephanie, get your pre done, get this performance scoring, so then it can take care of it, and it send the notes out right away. And I think Connie, you had a question in regards to is there any type of proofreading? So I'll segue it back to you, Connie, and then I'll move out.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
Stephanie.
You're welcome, Erica.
Yeah, well, and you know what? It's the top of the hour, and oftentimes the chamber has another event coming on the heels of one. And so, Anthony, thank you. Thank
yes,
you, everybody who attended. It's
guys.
just
If you could go to the wrap up and just type in, I'm going to give myself a 9.1 because I'm an optimist. But if you can give me a rating in the wrap up, I would really appreciate it. And then everybody who's here is going to get a meeting recap. And if you need any more from me, I'd love to meet with you. I put in all my information in the LinkedIn. I'm sorry, Connie, to cut you off. I just wanted everyone to rate if they could.
Okay, thank you. And I'm curious why my name's not there, but I'll put it in chat.
Please, I'm
Okay.
curious too.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody. This was
You
just,
all.
it's leading edge.
And Connie, your name is in there.
Oh, it is?
I see
Yeah,
it.
Oh, good.
Right,
Okay.
right next to mine.
Okay, good. Somebody put that. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Great talk, Anthony. Great work.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Doug.
It's amazing.